Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, not available on Sundays, Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Badman team!
Booyaka shot, boy!
Shout out to the FRTs and the MFTs and the BPBP.
Yeah, bitch.
Your PAFN.
WYBA.
What's going on, bro?
Another day in paradise over here, on this fine Thursday, August the 6th, year of our Lord.
Yeah, our Lord.
I said, year of our Lord.
Yeah, our Lord.
20 and 26.
Mafia.
Yeah, just
Two tickets to paradise.
Just over here watching these young cubs up here do the makeup game on this fine day here in sunny, rainy, and tropically humid North Carolina. Man, how goes in the Tejas?
Man, it is hot as the devil's back pocket around this bitch.
Hotter than the devil's armpits.
You feel me? Hotter than the devil's acid reflux. This motherfucker. You feel me?
Yeah.
It is baking temperatures around here. We just trying to stay safe and inside and out the way of the sun.
Hey, for the uninitiated, remind me when we're done, because this is going to be a pretty relatively quick episode. Remind me when we're done to tell you about the hack my wife pulled off earlier this week. This is perfect for the summertime conversation.
Indeed. Shout out to the lady of the house.
Yeah, man. Let's get in and get this over with here. This episode is dedicated to the memory of the late great Dory Funk Jr. We'll talk about his career in detail a little bit later on in the show, but also, as one leaves, as the old adage goes, one arrives, and we have the new arrival of the next generation of superstar with the Crawfords. We'll talk about that later in the show as well.
Hey,
that's always a blessing to have, the youth. The youths.
It's funny you're tuned in with the Cubs being the baseball aficionado of the BPBC. I am very much getting ready for what is NFL football season. Start evaluating my talent, seeing who needs to go, who needs to stay, see what the Blue Star gang might be looking like this year. So, this is that time of year where, sports actually start to matter in the house again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I of course I quell my expectations. We have to be, as lifelong Blue Star Gang aficionados, we have to be ready to cheer on our team in the advent of wins and a winning season. People always want to come at us sideways for being fans, not realizing we ain't the fans that you used to. Man, keep that same energy. And understand who your audience is.
Because I ain't quelling shit no more. Because what I've come to understand is that these people out here with all these air quotes enlightened opinions are just making shit up as they go. You move the goalpost as things get closer to cutting your argument off at the knees. So my team is my team, and that's what that is. I don't care what your relationship is with the Cowboys. You care way more about my team than I care.
We care about yours. Because let's face it, I don't care if you got a ring or not. Your team sucks.
If you're not on my fantasy squad,
you super suck.
Fuck about you. I don't even give a fuck about your team if you're not on my fantasy roster.
As a staff, a record label, or a crew. Right,
yeah, if you're not affecting my bottom line, the bottom line is I don't fuck with you. That's it. And that goes for the whole season. Rooting for another team besides mine is gonna trigger the same question I ask everybody once they tell me who their team is.
And keep in mind, you may think you're trolling us, but you're really trolling yourself. You're looking bad. Stop it.
Okay, watch this. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna ask you who your team is. Say anybody other than the Cowboys. Doesn't matter. You can pull it out of a hat. You can drop from the sky. Who's your team?
Lakers.
Oh man, how long you been sick? That's what you gonna get. Makes it funnier that he said a basketball team. We were talking about NFL, but still.
But yeah, you said pull any team out of the sky. I did it.
Of course, because my sahab is
outside.
My sahab is a self-professed, fully grown, developed 10-year-old. That level of self-awareness is what keeps us locked in. Because I can really only deal with self-aware people. If you're not self-aware and you just keep doing shit because, air quotes, you're made that way, send your ass to voicemail is what I'm gonna keep doing.
Listen, as the age happens on the outside, as these blacks turn to white, as this pepper turns to salt, as the pepper turns to salt, understand, Benjamin Button's happening on the inside. Know that.
See, self-awareness.
Yeah. Couple things here. Vita Hermosa Cigars, at Vita Hermosa Cigars on everything. It's a beautiful life.
Everything.
Saturday, August the 8th, North Carolina, Greek Fest. Weather permitting, if you're in North Carolina or in the Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina area, and even the DMV, because we got lots of DMV drivers that come down to the winery.
Oh, word.
Lots. DMV and Hampton Roads be representing more than the Raleigh-Durham Triangle or the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point Triad. They represent at the winery. Absolutely, every time. Weather permitting, Greek Fest will be this Saturday. Rain or shine, though. This is the one. Saturday, August the 15th, Knightdale, North Carolina.
Okay.
The greatest outdoor party in North Carolina, Soul Picnic, number 6. Headlined by DJ Skills, DJ Bro Rap, who was the tour DJ for Kid and Play. And also on the stage for my very first time seeing him in attendance on the stage, the God Rakim.
Oh, this your first time seeing Rakim live. Okay.
I'll be working the event adjacent to the stage with this Vita Hermosa and the Vita Hermosa and Stick Pick Cigar Lounge outdoors.
That's very much gonna be a pro hip hop situation because you get Kid and Play's tour DJ, which means you get hola, hola, eh. You got a vibe, you got a dance party vibe like the late 80s, early 90s type hip hop, and then you get Rakim, which is like the upper echelon of MCing.
So here's the sad part about Rakim doing this. He's on the cusp of dropping a self-produced album.
Okay.
I know the cameos are going to be on there, and I'm sure they're going to be not as frequent as you would see on these newer albums from veterans, but I'm sure you're going to have some cameos on there, right? He's going to want to perform some of these new songs. As fickle fans, the casuals, if you will, and we know how we feel about the casual fan. It was a hashtag for about 5-6 seasons before we decided to use a bigger compass.
We still have not forgotten the principles either.
Neither have you. FTCF, figure it out.
Trigger warning.
Pay the shooter. They're going to not want to hear this new music. The idea of an artist to create new music is to feed the appetite of the fan. If you can't appreciate that, please don't show up. If you're coming just to sing the old songs and trash the new, please don't show up. Oh, here we go.
But you know you can say that as a warning shot before, but you know when you're dealing with people, that's what they expect. So when you run down a show list or a roster of people that's going to be there, you're going to want, especially if it's a more mature crowd. So you're dealing with artists that have a catalog that has more than 3 albums to it.
Yep.
They basically want, when they come see you live, they want you to play the hits. Now, if you happen to have a hit in rotation at the time of the show, Sure, add that in if it's new.
If it's in, it's a hit.
Either it's a hit or it's in a state of
It's in a
repetition.
pocket. Yeah.
Like if you're getting into the rotational stage, yes. But they only want to hear stuff they're familiar with. It's just like DJing a party. People don't go to a party when we're DJing to discover new music, even though they should. They're looking for someone to feed the appetite of what they already know.
This is true. And speaking of that, I heard a song back. We'll go back to the sponsors in a second, but I heard a song back in March. I only heard it twice. Busta Rhymes and Lil Wayne's called "Talk Your Shit." Produced by the late great Jay Dilla.
Okay.
I've been yet to find this song on any DSP. None of my pools have been able to send it to me unless I missed it, like the download or whatever. Shouts out to Sharif Abdullah, Hakim. If he sent it and I didn't get it, it's because I missed it. But I found out yesterday that Busta Rhymes is dropping Diligence 2 this fall. That's a win.
That might be why it's not on a DSP. It might have been one of those things like, like a big show leak. Yeah, it's cool though. Like, okay, if I go see Busta Rhymes live, I listen to a whole bunch of music. So I've heard the last albums and everything. There's songs off the most recent stuff that I would want to hear.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The average ticket purchaser is probably going to be like, I want to hear everything from, what was the single from the first album?
Yeah. Woo-ha!
They
Got you
probably
all in
don't
check.
even want you to go that far back. There's a window.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they want you from Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See all the way up
That's
to...
the second album. So we'll go up to the Mariah Carey joint, maybe the Janet Jackson joint.
Definitely. Up through that Flip Mode Squad album that has what's that fucking song?
Cha Cha Cha. You suckers want to get down.
I'm thinking about a different record.
Oh,
Baby, if you give it to me.
yeah, that's the Mariah Carey joint. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the window they probably expect you to operate in, because those are
Passive Cavassier.
Yes.
And I've heard numerous people. I've heard Methods told me this face to face. So is Redman. I've heard them say this in interviews. You do not want to follow Busta Rhymes because he sucks the air out of every room that he's in. All the oxygen is gone when you get on stage after Busta.
That's been a known commodity for at least 20 years.
Facts.
In no situation do you want to perform after him, and certainly not right after him. That's the equivalent of going on after Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, right. You know he's going to lose, but you don't want to follow.
Right. You know damn well he don't need... If he's not in the main event, there's no way you want to wrestle the spot right after him.
Cena and Big Show, and who was that in 25? The triple threat.
Triple threat?
Yeah.
Edge.
Cena, Big Show, and Edge didn't stand a chance. Randy and Triple H didn't say. Randy and Triple H didn't stand so much of a chance that they were hitting false finishes 30 seconds into the match. After the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. So yeah.
Same thing. You don't want to follow the Undertaker either on a WrestleMania.
Yeah, so both of them at the same time. You follow both of them at the same time, boy. You Cashmere coat.
Like a damn fool. That's why they send the Divas match out right after shit like that.
Man, boy, catch your breath a little bit.
That's insane.
What else we have? tinyurl tinyurl.com/BPBC merch or mayormerch.com is the website. On the BPBC catalog of apparel, buy 4 get the 5th on me for free, still going on. 20% off your purchase, still going on. That's mayormerch.com, tinyurl.com/BPBC merch if you want just the BPBC stuff. But the mayormerch.com got all of the Suave Burgundy apparel on there as well.
Give them the code for that 20% off BPBC merch.
BPBC BBG. That's BPBC BBG. Yeah. That's the code. The code that keeps on giving. And then Suave's second favorite sponsor, which they're all his second favorite sponsor. Understand that. Facts. Selwyn Vega Pro Audio, the official pro audio for Broken Pencil Booking Company, Motorcycle Audio, Power Sports. Yes, I do say motorcycle audio on purpose. I do know that it's motorcycle, but motorcycle sounds so much better in this instance. Facts. Deal with it. Car audio, OEM replacement, home audio, marine audio, Suave, you know what it is.
On a boat.
Fishing season, deep sea diving up on your funky ass, and we ain't had no hurricanes. Thank the Lord for that one. They got rid of the Independence Day sale. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, hell.
It's over.
The summer sound, turn up the summer, 20% off limited products. Top right-hand side on the menu next to Legacy, you'll see the summer deal. And there's a whole catalog from amplifiers, 6.5s. How many pages? Oh, it's just one page. They got compression tweeter horns in this hole now. Nice. They got some bullet horn tweeter. Boy, I might want to build me a cabinet out of this one. 20% off if you go into the cart, you type in the code BPBC, get an additional 10% off. But don't tell them I told you. Shouts out Henry. Shouts out Gary. SerwinVega.com, your pro audio source and the official pro audio for Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast. Infused with hip hop. Suave.
Yo.
Tell them what they got to do with this.
Put some bass in your face with Serwin Vega Audio.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Riddle me this. We haven't. This is just a random question because I'm on the Serwin Vega site right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another portable Bluetooth speaker larger than the Vega Mini?
You got me looking for Tings. Tings Iguan, boy. Tings Iguan. Let's take a look. Where did you? Nope, not yet. So I will say this. They did roll out the Vega Buds as well to go with the Vega Mini. So if you don't want people, or if people are complaining about being like too close to your music, that's what the Vega Buds are for. The Vega Mini is that portable adjustment, but they do have something that they brought out at CES this year. I'm not anticipating a release by the end of the year because we're coming up on Q4, and if they do drop it, it will be Q4. But there is something huge that Serwin Vega has planned in the Bluetooth space. So stay tuned. That I can answer for sure.
Indeed, I'm just looking for something to take to the country. That's really what I'm looking for.
You dare to be surprised with that Vega Mini.
Yeah. You haven't seen the space, but the amount of space I'm covering is kind of.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah, and you don't want to take it, the other situation you got.
Yeah. We're not taking that setup out of town.
Yeah.
Not unless there's a bag involved. These functions when I'm off the grid are literally, for my own shits and giggles.
Volitions be damned.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking for one of those big, indestructible, portable Bluetooth situations.
Yeah, there's one particular sponsor I would like to incorporate, and they know who they are for a myriad of reasons. Can't discuss it on this show yet.
Right.
But
make yourself known.
Yeah, come out wherever you are. That's all I have to say about it. Because once the receipt, y'all have the receipt already. So once that y'all get that receipt and you check this email that goes with that receipt, there might be a conversation that needs to be had on all three of our sides. So there's that. All right, get the business out the way. Let's talk turkey, fam. SummerSlam 2026. We had low expectations overall for the card. We can quickly run through this card.
We can.
And talk about the standouts. Shouts out to returning Kevin Owens, though. I hate the internet spoiling shit.
It tells me everything.
Say what now?
You skip straight to Sunday, which tells you everything. You say we can run through this card real quick, and the first thing you mention is from the first match of night 2. That tells you a lot about what has taken place in the previous 24 hours. However, I'm going to let you draw this card.
I mean, so my beautiful 13-year-old Zoe.
What up, though?
She and I, we were weekly watchers of all things wrestling up until about the second year of AEW, especially during the pandemic. She slowly became, fell out of love with AEW. And at that time, I could kind of see why, as a younger fan. They're deep cuts. It's not for everybody. It's cool. That's why WWE exists. It's to be a safe space for children to enjoy this type of product.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't exactly a safe space, but continue.
Yeah. So, for all intents and purposes, I won't poo-poo night 1 because I wanted to see Nick Aldis versus Gunther, Walter in our house. And that came as advertised. We knew they weren't going to give Aldis his first victory in WWE and possibly his only match. That's like
I told you.
Yes,
I told you what to expect.
You did. We got exactly what we signed up for.
Exactly.
And Walter walked away a little bit sore than he anticipated because but he's at the end of the day he's a student of the game. He knows what Aldis brings to the game, whether he's been in the ring for 3 or 4 years or not. But the fact that Aldis told us that he was blown up after coming to the ring and was wanting the match to hurry up and end, that kind of tells me that he probably ain't got no more gas in the tank for matches, even though he is south of 40. So,
and I saw that same excerpt where he says, like, after the first 4 minutes, he was blown up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
You can train and you can get the cardio up to like track levels, Olympic sprinter levels. You can't train for or replicate the adrenaline that comes with a live crowd.
This is very, very true. And
I can tell you this, even from performing, I have blown up first 8 bars of the first verse, and spend the rest of the performance trying to get back to where I was before the music started, because there's an adrenaline rush that comes with a live crowd that no form of cardio can prepare you for.
This is absolutely true. And I've only performed on a stage with a microphone, not behind turntables, maybe twice in life. And that same adrenaline that you're talking about is what powered me through, because I don't remember shit, and I wasn't inebriated when these things happened. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Zoe. She was less involved with this first night when she had the most name recognition that she messed with out of the 2 nights. Liv and EO, she absolutely loved. The 6-man tag with the Bloodline versus the Anti-Bloodline.
Greatest entrance of the weekend.
Boy, the Street Fighter callback. Jacob doing the fool. Only to lose. I mean, of course, that's going to be part of a bigger story. That's fine. Walter and Aldis, great technical match, probably the best technical match of the night. Fatal Influence versus the Bellas. We knew it. Which one was going to turn? That was the question. And here we go. Returning Nikki Bella and exiting Brie Bella. Brie get well soon, but dear God, can they get it together?
Snake bit. Absolutely snake bit. Let me add this in. Night 1 of SummerSlam, superior to night 1 of WrestleMania.
Not even close.
However, I do think the WWE and the professional wrestling audience at large has grown to night fatigue. Every PLE, care if it's a Big 5 or not, every one of these does not need to be 2 nights. SummerSlam would have been a legendary card if you executed it in 1 night.
Okay, all right. So let's
and nothing about the wrestling time in the ring says you couldn't have.
Okay, I'm so glad you mentioned that. All right, so let's run. I'm going to run through the rest of night 1, night 2, and pose a question for you, because I had big questions about this earlier in the year about another one of the Big 5s. Okay. CM Punk versus Cody, Story told, decent match, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we got what we got.
You cooked the steak well. You didn't season it with shit.
And it's not pink in the middle.
As I grow older, I understand the importance.
It's juicy, but it's just not pink in the middle.
Some people live for that color or live for the pink in the middle. When you do it with steak, I understand. When you do it with other things, you can't live for it. You just have to live with it.
It's like lamb. Like if you do lamb right, it should have a little pink to it. And if you try to either let it like sit to stay warm or try to use it the next day, the only thing it's good for is eggs. That's it. Life hack. There it is. Boy. And then you got Oba Brock Hell in a Cell. This was probably the least exciting Hell in a Cell match I have ever seen. And that's including the stoppages of The Fiend.
This feud did not need Hell in a Cell.
No.
You pulled that out because you thought that would be a way to sell tickets. You needed a blow-off match with a stipulation. Could have been anything else.
49-year-old Brock was not climbing to the top of anything. 28-year-old Oba was not climbing to the top of anything. They are the biggest 6'2", 6'3" combination in terms of like height that we've ever. They both wrestle the style of a 6'9", 6'10", 400-pounder. Like they're both like super athletic, like blue chip college athletes, both of them, right? But the style that they do to save themselves is that of hell. Paul White wrestled the same way. Kevin Nash wrestled the same way. Give me somebody else that's like, it's over 6'8" that had that kind of like speed power combination that preferred a ground game.
Over 6'8", but works a ground game, ground and pound style.
With speed and agility.
I don't know if anybody's been that big.
That big and agile.
Also, yeah, like that's a rare. Over 6'8", that's crazy.
There's one. I got one. Rest in peace, Viscera.
Like there's a reason they call the Undertaker the Phenom.
Yep. Viscera is probably the biggest that comes to mind. He was, for him to be 500 pounds, he was super quick and did stupid stuff. He did insane.
Yes, to be agile for 500 pounds, without question.
Yeah.
When you asked me the question, it was like more of a who's the most explosive, who's over 6'8", which is a rarity.
It's rare, right?
Also be explosive. I look at explosive being different than having like a ground and pound approach.
Yeah, well, the explosiveness is what I was referring to specifically. And both of them have that explosiveness, but they have that aura of a quote unquote big man, like what they consider a traditional big man in professional wrestling. So because of that, there was no reason for either one of them to have to go outside or figure out a way to climb up in the inside or over the top of the cage and do something stupid, because no one was going to take the bump. The nod to Oba from Brock, we knew it was coming because Brock at the end of the day is a consummate professional and an athlete, combat athlete. And he took a very high road on the way out. This is the way WrestleMania should have gone down if he was going to do WrestleMania the way that he did it.
But you remember what I said about watching Hell in a Cell live versus watching it at home?
Yep.
There's a distinct difference.
And they went back to the galvanized steel color too.
Yeah, you put this big ass cage around here, and now you've kind of blocked off the view of a certain portion of the audience to see some of these things that they're doing. The match was only 11 minutes long.
Yep.
And even though it had been a lot of cursing and shit talking going back and forth.
Whole lots of your mamas going back and forth.
You know what I'm saying? There was not a level of
vitriol, hatred.
Yes, all of those words. There was no levels of that indicated this needed a Hell in a Cell. You just said, let us put Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam so we have a reason to, one, sell more tickets, and two, present this like it's going to be something catastrophic. I think if you had just done the street fight or done a last man stand, that's what it should have been. Last man standing.
So yeah, if you really wanted to do something for those two, absolutely, I'm not mad at that at all. And shouts out to US Bank Stadium because that stadium looked amazing. Would you want to take a gander at the estimated total for either night one, night two, or both for attendance?
If it's anything like what I heard, the average is somewhere between 33 and 36,000.
Those are the two numbers. If you split the difference, 34.5 per night.
Yeah, so
on average,
did, 70, 72 for the weekend.
Yeah, but it looked better than WrestleMania did. Let that sit for a second. It looked way better. It sounded better.
Night 2 WrestleMania set, top tier. SummerSlam set eclipsed both nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That gigantic belt look, I would say don't change that. Let that be SummerSlam exclusive. Like, use that set every year until you do something else.
I will also double down on this. You remember for, 5 years they did Brooklyn for SummerSlam?
Brooklyn.
The crowd, the Minneapolis fan base did a wonderful job. Shouts out to my cousin, Free City, who was in attendance for night 2.
Hey, yo.
Rest in peace, DJ Juice.
Indeed.
What I saw and what he told me kind of was parallel, and it was the fact that that crowd was very appreciative of what they got, and everybody was super into 90% of what they saw. For that, and the only reason why I won't double down on what I'm about to tell you is because of the numbers that I just saw, because that was the first time I saw these numbers. If you had to tell me what that crowd, I had to ask me what that crowd was like based on what I saw on TV, they made it look like a 50,000 seat crowd, a 50,000 ticket crowd, easy. I would not have been mad at a run back for a 2 or 3 year stint in Minneapolis because they showed up. Considering there was a 2-year build, to me, that's underwhelming for a crowd performing for a 2-year build. But that's more indicative of the crowd not buying in to the product that's being presented for them before it hits the screen.
You're pricing out Middle America. Like, the stadium looks phenomenal. It looks magnificent on the inside. Great. But what's the location? You have priced out Middle America. So I don't know who you thought in the summer of 2026, right before school starts back, right before, probably right after a family vacation for the summer, before school starts, I'm going to be able to drop 200, 300, 400, 500 a ticket, not for the family, per seat to go to this event.
To make it even,
we had the conversation on you know who ain't gonna win. It's cheaper to buy a new TV than it is to buy a ticket.
Boy. And
a quality new TV at that, not just some bum shit. So, I mean, that's just where you are. Like, your price does not reflect filling up a 70,000 seat stadium. The prices just don't match out. Not for what the economy is and what the product is giving you creatively.
Very true. Because I mean, if the Hell in a Cell were anything like it should have been, the cell, I mean, Paul Heyman can only do so much. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar can only do so much. But if the build were better, if the card was better, we had, you have the ability to double that stadium size in one night. You could have had the total weekend in sales in one night. For that reason, I fear for Houston for Survivor Series. Because it's Texas in November. The weather can be any damn thing.
Yeah, it's a dice roll. Chances are it'll at least be in the 70s.
Facts.
Yeah. Worst case
literally day and night.
Yeah. Now, you could get some 80s. It just depends. Like, Mother Nature likes to roll the dice when it comes to Texas. Is this in a stadium or is this an arena?
It's a stadium. It's where it's called the Ice Box. It's where the Astros play.
Okay, so that's like Royal Rumble. Is that 2020? Last time they were in Houston?
I don't think it's the same place. I wonder. I don't, because there was Minute Maid Park at the time that they went. It definitely wasn't 2020 because that was a pandemic.
No, Royal Rumble 2020 is right before the pandemic.
Rumble. I'm thinking Survivor Series. Never mind. You might be right, Suave. Let's see. Yeah, Dyken Park. Yep, that's it's a retractable roof. The good thing there is the capacity for the actual seat bowl is 41,000. Naturally, with a wrestling ring in the middle of it, you can increase that probably by the amount of the actual crowd in terms of field seats.
Right.
So there's going to be that field aesthetic there. I don't think you're going to get more than 50,000 people there, but you easily could, considering there's almost 40 million people in the state of Texas, and people drive to Houston. Hell, I drove from Dallas to Houston for WrestleMania, so I mean, there's that.
You have to set up a double ring for War Games.
Let's see.
I mean, it depends. We gotta see what. We got to see how War Games shapes up because
it was in the same stadium.
None of these PLEs are predetermined places where you want to spend your bread, and that has a lot to do with the way the shows are booked. Like last year for War Games Survivor Series, you had 5 matches.
Man,
I'm not dropping $100 a match on nothing that goes on in WWE.
Nothing. It better be a returning New Day versus Street Profits.
It's $100 a match to go to go and sit where you would want to sit. Going to an event like that to feed yourself transportation to and from, you are well over $500 per person.
I guess the saving grace is the per event bonus is higher per person when you have a higher ticket price and less people on the card.
You would think. Look who we dealing with, fam. Don't just make those type of assumptions. You dealing with a company who is trying to negate the losses of UFC. UFC just lost $30 million putting on
that White House. First of all,
UFC 250.
We could do a whole show about how fucked up that whole scenario was.
So wrestling fans are paying for the failures of Dana White.
Yes, as part of a TKO merger.
And Timu Dana White.
Kratos. Oh boy!
Shout out to Dave.
Big Dave Batista, the winner of the BPBC greatest wrestler turned movie star ever. Proving us right one movie at a time.
This is no longer a debatable point. It's over with. Dave is number one.
John Cena is WWE's Mark Wahlberg. There's Dave and Rock is what, number 3 at this point now?
At least.
Sheesh.
At least.
Boy. Night 2. Night 2.
What's your favorite match from night 1?
My favorite match of night 1?
Yeah. Just your personal favorite. Like take just you as a fan.
I'll go back and watch Walter versus Nick Aldis again because Aldis hit some joints. He hit some joints in that match. No herb, no THC.
Don't bring that up. That's a sensitive subject in Texas.
Right now, well, hold your head, Tejas. That's the one.
Dirty.
If I go back and watch any of them for a second time, it's going to be that one first. Secondly, only for the comedy, is going to be the 6-man tag with the Bloodline and Anti-Bloodline. I guess would that be the Bloodline and the Cuz line?
I mean, if you was out here banging, or the Bloodline and the blood pathogen,
the hemoglobin.
It's not blood; it's hemoglobin.
Oh shit.
Every time I hear somebody or read somebody going ape shit in the comments, it's not blood,
It's hemoglobin.
It's log out.
Gone somewhere. Night 2. I know we're so far gone that we can never get back here. But can y'all stop spoiling shit on the internet?
Nope.
I guess I just got to get off the internet, which is crazy because I was on the road Saturday, and I think I went on. God, these microphones on these phones. You mentioned something and then it pops up. First thing you see
tells you everything you need to know.
Everything you don't want to know at that too. But it was cool to see Kevin Owens come back. The pop that he got was amazing.
It put energy back into the weekend.
Out the gate. That was met out the gate.
I even said it in the live thread we were hosting in the official Broken Pencil Logic group on Facebook. Just like they immediately went into salvage mode. Like night 1 was what it was. We're not finna let y'all even get close to saying that we're under delivering. We're gonna come out the gate shooting. Which is cool. I like it. But at the same time, imagine how much cooler that would have been if all this happened in the same night. Like Walter beat Aldis earlier in the night. Aldis changes into a suit to announce this match. The whole segment with Trips and Aldis about him being reinstated as general manager. All in the same night. That's a lot of content to digest. You have to overstimulate your audience.
And you pulled the ultimate swerve on everybody in the IWC who thought that Oba was going to end up with the world title by the end of night 2 by putting Walter on first in night 2. He's the only person that pulled double duty that weekend, but we thought as soon as we saw him that there was a chance for Oba. I personally did not want to see that shit. I did not want to see Oba night 2.
I don't like the composition of doing that, because you're gonna step on something by doing that. You're
usually some peen your own at that.
I'll shut up. You finished it. I ain't gonna hit him no more. He already sleep. Yeah, he done. I ain't gonna hit him no more.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Baron Corbin, Trick Williams, whatever. New champion. Trick's aura was great. The entrance was phenomenal as always. Cameraman missed it, but you know, we got what we got. Chelsea Green in that ladder match. She played every character that she's ever played on any episode of SmackDown over the last 2 years to the T in this match, and became the first or the interim women's champion. Congratulations to her, well deserved. She's had such a rough road, and for her to slap Michael Hayes in the face by saying she dedicated her title win to him, boy.
I mean, he threw the alley-oop. Like he put, and okay, we watch a content-filled organization where everything has to be analyzed at face value versus what's reality, aka what's a work, what's a shoot. And part of me has to hold out hope that potentially this was a work to get Chelsea Green looked at in a higher.
Why do you keep calling it Chelsea? Chelsea.
Hey, because that's how that shit is spelled. There's an A there. I'm gonna enunciate it until someone else tells me different. But Chelsea Green.
So you go fish? You go deep sea fishing?
Yeah, I'm gonna put the L in salmon.
No, you're not.
I'm on that type of bullshit today. I'm putting the L in salmon. Well, look, part of me wants to hold out hope for that just because it sounds cool, but the reality of it seems more so like, hey, somebody was hating, and fate destiny smiled upon you, and all of a sudden now you in a position they say you couldn't get to. So level up.
heard and felt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, congratulations to Chelsea Green.
Absolutely. As we continue on, Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio, Human Money's on the pole match, to which my 13-year-old said, "What?"
Yeah, this absolutely would have been pre-show. Like, this would have been on the free-for-all if this was a one-night SummerSlam.
Rest in peace to Judy Bagwell. She's rolling over in her grave thinking that her hit was better than this one.
On a pole. Dom deserves better. Hell, Danhausen deserves better.
Truth be told, he does, but Danhausen, this is the match that he begot. Dominic don't have to be on American TV. Let's keep it a G.
I don't think Danhausen as a in-ring competitor is where his money is. It just, to me, it isn't. And a really good way to handle this would be, he has that whole time machine, or that machine he brings out when it ends up spitting out Minneapolis and El Torito. But every time he gets into a situation that calls for physical altercation, he should use that machine, and you can bring out literally anybody with Danhausen face paint and have them do his dirty work.
You know who they should have had come out that Sunday night that would have definitely made Monday look way better for him, in my opinion?
Cass.
Big Cass.
Like, imagine that. Imagine Danhausen going for that match, but he said, Casshausen. Like, what are we doing? And
it was only for a one-off. You didn't have to stay Casshausen, especially for the excuse that we got from Monday Night from Big Cass, which we'll get to in a minute as well.
Yeah, him with the deadpan stare is just, I don't know if that's where the money is with him, but I get it. Do what you want to do. It just gave me Schnitzky vibes.
Exactly.
Yeah. It gave me Schnitzky, Heidenreich, Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones, my guy. If you want to take it back, Nails.
Get out. Stick yourself out, cuz. What is you doing?
Oh, man. Gable finally wins the singles championship by defeating Penta for the IC title at home.
Am I wrong to say I was underwhelmed by that match?
No. Because Chad Gable gives a certain type of match, and we've been seeing this match out of him since he's been on the main roster. And it's not a bad match that he gives. In fact, he's been better. I think the best match he's had was the IC title match that he lost when his family was in attendance last year before he went apeshit.
Penta's debut match might have been better than this one.
Absolutely. Absolutely it was.
But I also kind of feel like maybe they don't have the right chemistry, and the expectations for Gable were so high, like he was supposed to deliver a classic, because he had just done it with El Grande Americano.
But you do that in Mexico, where you have creative input. You have dog.
In 30 minutes.
No. They did that in way more than 30 minutes. I'm about to pull that real quick.
Look, tell me what the match time is. But what I'm saying is, trying to do the impossible in 11 minutes is not, like, they build this up like this was going to be match of the weekend. This was going to be a classic. This was going to be one of those Intercontinental title matches at SummerSlam that was going to go right in line with Brett and Mr. Perfect and, stuff like that. It was going to fall into that type of folklore and category.
Yeah, I'm with you.
With 11 minutes, I don't know if you can get there.
For some reason, that match felt longer, but they're saying it was 33 minutes, just over 33 minutes, the El Grande versus El Grande match.
The Americano?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it needed 30.
It needed 30, but it felt like it went an entire hour, bro. That
Maybe
match.
That's because of the emotional investment.
Yes. Yes.
It's just one thing to have 30 minutes worth of wrestling. Like Punk and Cody went 30
I
minutes.
was exhausted by that match. Cody and Punk, yes, I was exhausted by that match. I think that match went on 10, 15 minutes too long, to be honest with you. I understand why it was 30 minutes, but that doesn't mean I don't reserve the right to be exhausted by it.
Versus in Mexico, it enthralled you. You felt like you were geeked up to watch more wrestling after that 30 minutes was over.
Dog, we saw so many false finishes at the 15-minute mark that we were like, there is absolutely no way this match ends anytime soon. So we stopped checking out for the finish until we knew,
They bled like early 90s Memphis.
Dog, it was territory bleak, bro. And it was tasteful. It wasn't like if the way Ober and Brock talked to each other, that's how the Grandes bled. It's like they had that kind of talking war. And all that was professional jealousy over a gimmick. You got that kind of blood feud over professional jealousy over a gimmick of a nationality that neither one of them hold.
Undertaker with 3 A's is not playing with that.
Undertaker. Undertaker.
You know what I'm saying? Undertag Triple Acre. He's not playing games with y'all.
Under Triple Acre is crazy.
And I think the main roster can stand to benefit from a little more throwback booking. Like, don't go to Attitude Era because you can't replicate that. New generation, you really don't have the same roster to execute that either. Like, let's go early 90s, late 80s, Southern wrestling. Like, make some personal issues. Like, tell some stories. Like, okay, go mid 90s ECW then.
And you don't even have to. I mean, sure, the attention spans aren't as long as they were back then because of smartphones and internet. You don't have to drag it out to be 4 or 5 months. You can do this over 4 or 5 weeks if you do it correctly and get it out the fucking way.
Like, I'm sick of the whole trying to get long-term storytelling because most of these stories ain't coherent worth of shit anyway.
Man.
Just tell me a good story. Regardless of how long it takes, just tell me a good one.
Speaking of, finally, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. This
segue.
Yeah, match of the night by far, without question. The story of the night was, do we put the Shield to rest forever and can you do it on your own, Roman? The answer to that is yes to both questions. Now, the storytelling that went into this prior to, if they spent half as much effort on Oba and Brock as they spent on Seth Roman over the last 4 weeks, we would have had a lot better payoff here in the end. Meanwhile, the payoff we got from Roman to Seth is something that we didn't think we would ever see in the way that we saw it. So much so that there are people waiting in the wings that we were expecting to see either Saturday or either Sunday or Saturday, Sunday or Monday. Didn't matter, that we did not see, which means it's always going to be greater later. We've always said less is more. We may have been disappointed in what we did not see, but that doesn't mean that excitement won't come later on. Because the first thing I told you on Monday was, they're not going to do this shit in Des Moines. And Seth didn't even show up in Des Moines, his home state.
He wasn't supposed to.
Thank you.
He was probably there, but he wasn't supposed to.
His wife was there, which means he probably was there. And he was only 2 hours away from the crib. He didn't have to show up.
It's the whole thing that we've been talking about. Like, you have to go away so people will miss you.
But hey, Suave, we go through this every 2 years. Every time Seth goes away, we get glimpses of why we don't like to call him Kung Fu Panda. And just when we don't want to call him Kung Fu Panda anymore, he gives us all the reason to go back to remember why we did it to begin with.
That's a personal problem. That's just how he functions. That's how he functions, and that's how he rubs us paws. But here's what I'll say in response to your, if they put this much effort into Rock Oba. The Shield has 14 years worth of backstory that they shoved into about 3 or 4 weeks in vignettes. The other part is, it is very obvious that what happened in the main event of SummerSlam is what was supposed to happen in the main event of WrestleMania 42. And now, if you were to, like, you take anyone who's ever done video editing, you take a clip and you shift it back in front of another one, like you're changing the chronological order. If you took the main event of SummerSlam, moved it to WrestleMania 42's main event, and then the turn of Braun Breaker creating the new Vision, and put that on the night after WrestleMania.
Come on, man.
Different vibe altogether. Braun may never lose to Seth at all, because that's the way it was supposed to take shape. But because Seth got hurt again, you ended up with a situation where you had to pivot. And I also feel like you might have gotten Punk and Cody at 42. They might not have pulled the trigger on Randy. Randy might have been the feud that came after. But there's a lot of shifting, a lot of pivoting, a lot of people who just flat out had to play other parts.
With this, Roman and Seth in this stage in their careers, this was an end of an era match, and no one can tell that story better than Michael Cole. And he did that in spades. I contended with you that this match was going to be a match to be at WrestleMania. Of course, on the table, because of where it's going to be, will be Rock Roman. We don't want to see that necessarily, but who says the Prince doesn't? Because what the Prince wants, the Prince gets, right?
Last we checked. So now, how does that affect creative for the rest of the year?
They don't need, according to the person with the pencil right now, they don't need the rest of the year. They just need 6 weeks. They could literally do it after Royal Rumble.
Again.
Hey, I'm just the messenger.
I get it, but for people to actually care, yeah, you say you need 6 weeks. For people to care, what? Okay, I'll say this: the person you just took your quote from said, "Give us 6 weeks." The person I'm about to take a quote from said, "We need to be looking a year out and working
backwards." Come on, man.
Paul Heyman said that we need to already know what 43 is so we can work backwards, and then we can work forwards towards 44.
And who was he a child of? On creative?
Wrestling Jesus at this point. Big Duck.
Big Duff. The MC Coyote coat.
Cashmere coat.
Speaking of cashmere coat, Suave, how long have we been screaming cashmere coat on this show?
Months.
No, years.
Maybe years.
Years we've been screaming in passing, more prevalent in the past few months, but definitely for years.
Like every episode for a couple months.
Ever since Thwack 'em Baby, we've been making subtle references to cashmere coat.
That's the other one, Thwack 'em Baby.
Thwack 'em Baby had to be season 3, maybe season 4. Okay?
Yeah.
You with me, right?
I am. I'm here.
Dog, Roman Reigns pulled out the biggest cashmere coat moment I have seen since the cashmere coat on Monday Night Raw.
Because people don't flex like that anymore. Like, champions don't flex possessions anymore. And that's mainly because of, like, branding and they don't advertise things that they don't have any type of equity in.
I'm going to read you something. Do you see your tribal chief, Black Diamond's out this hole? He wearing that watch too. Too much sauce. Wearing an Apple Watch with that piece on is egregious. 5 minutes later, he fries and fricassees LA Knight for that.
Who had on like a $650 watch. They said Walmart watch, and then I ended up looking up what it was. It's still almost a $700 watch.
It's a time. It's a good piece. He had a good piece on.
Respectable watch.
But the problem is you up against the tribal chief. This is your daily acknowledgement with black diamonds around his neck and a $575,000 Audemars.
Royal Oak AP on his wrist. He's using the Apple Watch literally
to count steps and make sure his blood oxygen levels are straight.
That's it. It's a medical device for him.
Pulse oximeter at most. Timepiece. He could care less about text messages with 500. He's checking his back side, not even his back pocket, with 575K on his wrist. Boy,
as many times as Seth probably came out flexing Gucci, you never really hear that mentioned. It's been
the most stylish person. The most stylish person on the roster right now in terms of drip has always been Rey Mysterio. In terms of suit game, it had to be Corey Graves and Corey Graves. Cody gets custom suits for every show. I get that. That's cool. You got a tailor over there, Roswell, Georgia. I get you. I know where you go. Know exactly where you go.
Adult swag.
Yeah, but yeah, it's different when you can do that. But and then of course the Brits, man, like Nick Aldis, his suit game, boy, they raised these kids to dress like this.
Dominic rocking some type of off-white sneaker, a Virgil exclusive, or some highbrow sneaker game literally every week. They just don't mention it. Like
Ray is wearing the Nikes of Mexico whenever he shows up on Raw, and I don't even remember what the name of them are, but they ignorant.
Ray got Gucci and Louis like masks with the matching actual fit. Like,
Ray may have a Gucci and Louis collab mask around there somewhere.
If you see Ray dressed up in real life, he might be Mexican Dapper Dan.
At this point, they just send him the fabric and say, "Make it work." We'll see it on TV.
Do what you want to do. He gonna go to the Louis or the Gucci store. He gonna buy the shoes, but then everything else, they just gonna send him yards of fabric and say, "Go ahead, bro.
Go crazy, bro."
Yeah.
Oh, and don't go on the seam.
And then his son is like, his son is Gen Z dripped out.
Yeah,
he is the poster child for what everyone in Gen Z wants to look like.
He got emo, and he got depressed, and he got fly all at the same time.
All at the same time,
and it's because of the colors of his clique that really works for him.
They one step from walking around with flags in their back pocket.
Well, they were at one point. Especially when Finn was down with them. Sheesh. Yeah, man. Oh, Big Cass let down on Monday night. Did you expect to see Zilla at all during the weekend?
Nope.
You didn't.
I didn't, because I haven't seen enough foreshadowing for his arrival. I don't think okay. The vision and the way that went has kind of bastardized the black hoodie reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, not the vision, not the vision, not the eyes that I see with. No, Seth did that all by his damn self.
Well, Roman did say, they gave you all my stuff and you still couldn't do what I did. So the black hoodie reveal has been bastardized to the point of no return. It needs to rest, like we've been saying. Go home, learn a new hold, come back. So I don't necessarily see a way that you introduce him as a surprise without doing the black hoodie reveal. Therefore, you're going to have to find a way, air quotes, creatively, to debut him or to walk him into the story. Otherwise, he's just going to be on NXT until he's ready to be called up. He'll be in NXT learning the WWE style, learning the production style more than anything, and then he'll be called up when it's time, because look, NXT also has contractual obligations that they need to fulfill. They need to be able to put a serviceable product on television.
But especially now since they're in bed with ESPN.
Exactly. Everybody can't go straight to the pros. That's just the reality of it. Even though we think Zilla's ready, or we think Zilla would fit into the story perfectly, everybody can't just sign and go straight to the pros.
And we said the same thing about Jacob 4 years ago. And we got that eased on in 2 years ago to a much better palatable version of him. And now especially with that street fight that he had, the WWE fan can now see the Jacob that we've always said that we wanted to see in WWE that we would never see.
Yeah, Jacob's issue was never how much experience he had. We always knew he had the experience. We knew he had the promo, the look. We know he can go in the ring. We know he can do some abnormal, astrologically catastrophic shit. It was just, are they ever going to get past his past to sign him so we can get some money with him?
And now that we know the answer to that question, we know the answer to the other question too. Because face it, I don't care what they've done in their past. Neither one of them is Teddy Hart.
Without question. However, you know, you don't get the same grace and mercy.
Waylon Mercy?
Yeah, you don't get the same Waylon Mercy if you're not of a certain ilk. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to walk the straight and narrow a little bit more than the average person. So with Zilla, he's also young, so you figure he's still gonna make some mistakes, even if they're not like crime level. He's gonna make mistakes because he's younger. Jacob is in a position where it's like, look, we getting close to now or never. Like, we're closer to 40 than we are to 20.
Facts.
So there's a maturity level that comes after you start having kids. That's just
especially if you have a lot of them.
That too. I can't speak to that part. But my Sahab is the fourth going expert of BPBC when it comes to a lot of kids.
Watch your damn mouth, boy. I'm right here. I'm listening. Pay the shooter.
I'm giving you your flowers, Elder.
I am. I know what elder means. I know what you're doing there. Don't do this.
You told me on the last episode to respect my elders, so that's what I'm doing.
Not on TV. Don't do this. I know what you mean when you say the word elder.
Boy, say live on TV. Don't you do this to me? Come on, bro. Come on, fam.
Oh man. Oh. Where we at with this? We saw on Collision of all places, as Collision opened up live from Detroit, the introduction to one of the greatest tag teams over the last 15 years. The Motor City Machine Guns have actually now come to AEW. So WWE, then AEW. Prior to that, TNA, of course, New Japan. Mm-hmm. The parallel to the Young Bucks, because of when they started and the fact that the Young Bucks as Generation Me were in TNA the same time as the Motor City Machine Guns, that could be classified as a dream match. The fact that they came out in Detroit is more telling. Sure, they're at home, but you have the biggest show of the year coming up to you in about 4 weeks, and you couldn't wait. That means something bigger is planned. We know about the Midnight Hour. Is there anybody else that you care to see pop out at Wembley?
Who I care to see pop out at Wembley that's not already on the roster?
Not already on the roster.
Sheamus?
That's a big one. Shame-o bang. Especially considering he's going to be in a neighboring country.
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel, so that's something else for us to talk about. The Continental Classic is still going to be going on in December. However, there's a Continental Tournament that's happening starting, I believe, next week on Dynamite. 16-man open draw tournament. And I don't know if you knew about this or not, but let me see if I can run down the competitors that are in that, because Nigel McGuinness is actually in this.
Oh, so he is wrestling?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. I think I saw something about the tournament, but I definitely don't know who the competitors are or when it starts or is supposed to end.
Let's see here. Let me pull up, because that completely skipped my mind until I brought the question up, and I was like, but yeah, there's definitely, here it is right here. The Continental Challenge is what it's called. 16-man open draw tournament. The competitors are your champion, Jon Moxley, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Nigel McGuinness, Katsuyori Shibata, Dave Finlay, Ace Austin, Jay White, Matt Sydal, Jungle Jack Perry, Jake Doyle, Brian Cage, Hechicero, Claudio Castagnoli, Eddie Kingpin. Those are participants.
I thought Jay White got hurt again.
I thought so too. So unless something comes up before, like if he can make it to this match, then he'll be fine. If he can't, I'm sure he'll be replaced. You know they got alternates. That's how we got Maya World and so much. The tournament breaks down like this. As with all Continental Championship matches, there will be no outside interference, but there also will be no time limits. 16 wrestlers compete in 8 blind draw matches. The 8 winners then compete in 4 blind draw matches. The 4 winners move on to the semifinals in Glasgow, Scotland on August the 26th, which is at a Dynamite. The Cup final takes place at Wembley on August the 30th, and the winner will receive the Continental Cup and will be crowned the new AEW Continental Champion.
I don't know if I like the idea of no time limits. Not because I feel like anybody's going to try to go 80 minutes or something, but it takes away a booking option when it comes to potentially eliminating someone from the tournament. I don't like the idea of a draw not being an option. Like if you get 2 people together that maybe you don't want to beat either one of them, but you do want to see the match, and neither one of them are actually slotted to win the tournament either.
So the problem with that is if you have a draw and you don't have a point system, you have to eliminate both of them. So somebody gets a bye.
And? This is wrestling.
Welcome to the King of the Ring 1996.
Seemed to work out for them, didn't it?
Hell yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
wrestling. And okay, if you don't want to give them a bye,
then bye.
So
You know what?
That same spot where somebody has a bye, that's where you can slot in a new player has entered.
So
it's pro wrestling.
They actually have the first 8 matches up. So Claudio versus Ace Austin, Jake Doyle versus Eddie Kingpin, Orange Cassidy versus Sydal, Perry versus Moxley, and the first 3 matches I named off are going to be a Collision this Saturday. Next Wednesday on Dynamite on the 12th would be Jack Perry and Moxley, like I just said. Jay White versus Dave Finlay. That's going to be crazy for a Continental Classic. A match with rules and no time limit. Those 2, that's going to be crazy. Brian Cage versus Hechicero. Oh, Don Callis family versus Don Callis family. Oh shit. Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong, and Katsuyori Shibata versus Nigel McGuinness. The Cage, O'Reilly, and Shibata matches will all be on Collision on the 15th. I like this so far. This will be some good wrestling to watch.
You're definitely making an effort to have someone watch Collision. So
Absolutely. Because Lord knows you won't unless I tell you to. And I have to be very convincing in my telling.
I don't believe it.
Oh, man. So we got Sheamus, we got Midnight Hour. Anybody else that you can think of?
I don't know what the free agent pool looks like right now. Like it's kind of weird. Like
Kyrie Sane comes to the top of my mind.
I won't say I'm necessarily excited to see that. I would say it would help their women's division.
That's more than anything help the women's division, but I also want to see Toni Storm come back.
That seems more likely. Honestly, that seems way more likely. I don't know if Kyrie Sane gets the type of reaction you want her to get in Wembley.
You know, has Dynamite or Collision even done a show in Japan?
No. To my knowledge, no.
That's a waste considering y'all are in bed with New Japan. That's a total waste to not do You've done Dynamites and Collisions from Mexico, from New Zealand, from Australia, from...
You gotta measure the time difference and then just set up something that goes on out there because it won't be live.
It doesn't have to be live.
But
I mean, the shows that they... Even the show where Buddy Murphy got hurt, Buddy Matthews got hurt was a house show essentially.
So, more times than not, Dynamite is live, correct?
More times than not, yes.
So, that's one. Now, I would absolutely say you will get an episode of Dynamite from Japan at some point. However, do we know that AEW has the clout in Japan to fill up the type of venue that would look good for television in Japan?
They've not filled the Egg Dome and made it look good for television.
I get that part, but we do know that AEW has had issues making venues look the way they should when you don't have the capacity.
Yeah. So to that I say this: Tokyo has 36 million people in it. Find a theater. You can make that happen.
Cool. I mean, if you're gonna find the right venue, you can get the people there. They're gonna be familiar with the product, and they're going to give. No, they won't replicate American fans. They're just not Japanese culture. But you do know, like there's Japanese culture when it comes to wrestling. They're not yelling and screaming the whole match. They clap for stuff that they like, but the way the fans engage with the product is different.
You would have to pick your stars that go over there. Like at the top of the list, I would have like people like Swerve, of course, Kenny if he has any legs left. Bucks have put themselves over there. There's no big deal there. Moxley would have to go. Casting Yodi would have to go. Pac would have to go. I would send over what's my man from Longest Reigning, Lee Moriarty. I send him over there. You see, I threw up the Longest Reigning. Had to. Who else would I send over there? But like I wouldn't send Orange Cassidy. I wouldn't send Mark Briscoe. I would send Kyle O'Reilly. Wouldn't send Roderick Strong. Like things like you have to make those types of decisions. You feel me?
Okay, and then here comes my counterpoint for that. If you're gonna send the top of the top, the A-list of the A-list to Japan, does that not become a pay-per-view at that point? So we're gonna give away for free what we would charge $50 for every month, just to say we did it on free television?
Let me say this. We can meet in the middle here. We can give a pay-per-view in Japan and keep the talent there for Dynamite. There's no harm in that. Because at the same token, Monday Night Raw has never been in Japan. In fact, WWE has never done a pay-per-view in Japan. They've done like vainglorious house shows, like a house show weekend in Japan, simply because
house show.
Yeah.
And a couple of NXT takeovers.
And a couple of matches that we'll never see because they're tucked away in the vault. One of them featured, I think was it Jericho versus Balor?
Something like that. Now, I'll say if you're going to just can a Japan show and show it in the slot of Dynamite, cool, I got it. Or let's say Tony Khan decides to pull a WCW from Halloween Havoc where something happened. We know what happened for Halloween Havoc 98, and they end up showing the whole main event for free. Basically, TK say, okay, we're going to run this show this day, and then we'll replay the whole show as an episode of Dynamite, just so you can say you saw something from Japan. Because at that point, it's just, it's semantics. You just want something that says we did it in Japan in the slot of where Dynamite is.
I remember when Ron Garvin beat Ric Flair for the world title. That was an entire episode of weekend programming for WCW. It was for Jim Crockett Promotions. It was NWA Pro and Worldwide for that weekend. We saw the entire match of Ric Flair versus Ronnie Garvin, and Ronnie Garvin wins. 3 weeks later, there's a rematch. They do the exact same thing. When Ric Flair wins, it was they had the exact same match. Garvin tries to do the sunset flip from the top rope in the cage. Flair rolls through, comes through, hooks the tights and pins Garvin. Saw that exact same match 3 weeks later with a different outcome in the exact same way. The entire hour was dedicated to Flair versus Garvin. That's what you're insinuating for that match scenario, where how what happened to Halloween Havoc, where the main event gets shown for free and they call it an episode or whatever.
I would hope that we get that opportunity. All I'm saying is logistically, you got to make it make sense.
And at this point, I'm not told on that there's enough that makes sense in that scenario. So now I don't like my idea.
Then there's also the fact that, look, TK has a lot of money to say fuck it in a lot of different situations. So he may just be like,
boy, does he ever.
And be done. But yeah, like if we're in the business of doing business and managing money and managing, costs and all that type of stuff, yeah, you do need to kind of figure out how you make that work. And is there a production company over there that's going to give you the same quality as you would get from a station-funded situation, which they have? TBS is supplying the work.
There we go.
There's that.
Let's see. Before we get up out of here, a couple of bits of business. Tuesday, I believe it was, Tuesday night, we lost Dory Funk Jr. at the age of 86, I believe. Yep, 86. Oh, he just had a birthday. Damn. Oh, his first birthday is February. Okay. But yeah, brother of Terry Funk, son of Dory Funk Sr. He was the NWA World Heavyweight Champion and also a few-time NWA International Heavyweight Champion, which was a recognized world championship, but not recognized as the world championship, which, as we talked about the territories and will later on, he lost to Hacksaw Butch Reed in Kansas City prior to Butch Reed going to and joining Mid-South Pro. Legend in Japan, one of the legit toughest men of all time, the curator and head trainer at the Funkin' Conservatory. In WWF, he had a short run as Hoss Funk alongside Terry Funk and Jimmy Jack. And Jimmy Jack was not a Funk. Jimmy Jack was as much a Funk as Lance was a Von Erich.
As much as Flash was a Funk.
There's that. Or as much as Funk was on the roll. Yeah, so at any rate, Texas legend, another one of the wrestlers that came out of West Texas State University, another one of those. So rest in peace to Dory Funk Jr. But like I said, as one exits, another one enters. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford have announced the birth of their first son, Romeo Leonardo Allen Crawford. Boy, what the hell y'all doing with this long ass 14th century ass name?
I mean, everybody's not going to have to say the whole thing every time. It's not like a pimp named Slickback.
It is like a Tribe Called Quest. You say it all at once.
Okay, well,
Romeo Leonardo Allen Crawford. That can you imagine Lillian Garcia coming out of retirement to say that name one time?
Hey, respect my wishes, or
My name is Romeo Leonardo Allen Crawford. And I have something for you.
Yeah.
How'd you know?
Respect my name, out.
Yeah, man. So congratulations to the Crawfords, Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. I think that's all I have. No reason else to stay around here. I got things to do. Swab, take them to the house.
Pencil pushers, like, rate, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell that friend to tell a friend, and then tell that friend again. Heads up. Pencils down.
Man, we got to talk about WWE radio, bro.
Man.
Don't worry. We got more episodes to come. We back on the numbers now. We got time for this.
Gentrification is real.
Boy.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit.